Everybody, holy cow. Happy Monday to everybody watching us live today. Today, we're calling it Motivation Monday. What is faith? And we got something to really get into there. Some lessons I learned over the weekend. Jeff, how's your weekend?
Oh man, it was a work weekend, my friend. Big, huge opportunity, and sometimes you got to do it and sacrifice. I'm sure you know what that's all about.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Well, let's get into that and more here in a sec, y'all.
That's it.
Welcome to the HPLS podcast. Live, relevant, and high performance information, conversations, and education weekly.
All right. So Jeff, how was your weekend? You said work weekend? Did it go
Oh
well?
yeah, yeah. I got this.
Get some
I got
movement.
this huge opportunity, and spent like 16 hours on it. I didn't have a weekend, but I'm not complaining by any means. When those things come up, you got to jump on it. Customers first, man. I hate putting things to the side because you know what happens when you do that, right? It just keeps on
Yes.
multiplying, and someone gets left
Yes.
out.
Yes.
So couldn't do that. How about yours, man?
Oh man. Well, so we'll get into that here in a sec. Good morning. Hey, hello,
Hey,
Greg. What's
Greg.
going on? Good morning, Greg.
Good morning, sir.
Hey, good morning, Lisa. Happy
Hi, Lisa.
Monday.
How are you?
Oh man. So my weekend was man. I'll tell you, these past couple weeks, going, I've learned, I've experienced quite a bit about life, death, and just the lessons learned in those situations, and kind of wanted to talk. I was contemplating all weekend, actually, all yesterday. So yesterday, I will lead with this, and I am going to then go to a video because hopefully I don't cry. If I do cry, y'all, I'm sorry. This is not my intention. But so this weekend, so again last week, unfortunately, had the funeral of the owner here, Ryan. May he rest in peace. The seeing the just all the people there to come to the funeral and even the cemetery afterwards was amazing. And so just we kind of talked about that last week on Friday. Well, then I got my own little testament of faith and of just of the inevitable, which we know is death. It's guaranteed. We all know it's coming, but we just hope we can accomplish everything we can before that time comes. Um, so yesterday morning, we did have to put our amazing little teacup Yorkie, which was not like a real dog. It was more like a kid, a human. Um, I've had a lot of dogs growing up. Was never involved in the having to be part of being there for their last breaths and putting them down. My mom usually was the brave one for that, which she was almost brave to a degree, but wouldn't go beyond that point. Well, my 5-year-old son uh, volunteered and was dead set on he was coming. He's strong. He knows what's going to happen, and he's coming. And I didn't secretly let him know this, but this is where I think, guys, where again, I'm not trying to get deep, and there's lessons in this and the lessons I learned, but it's holding that in. I did not share until after the fact how scared I was, and that I've never done that. I was never involved in that. I didn't know that I could even make it through it. It was tough. It was hard. Um, but the lessons I learned and the things he said in the moments that we'll get to, hopefully will bring back some of that faith for everybody else. But hey, thank you, Gary. Yeah. Sorry for your loss, man. Both my dogs part of my family. Can't even imagine. Yeah, this dog, I'll tell you, is more than a dog. Even she, teacup Yorkie. She was only at max, I think, 5.5 pounds. You barely knew she was there, but she made her presence known. Again, I'll give some lessons in that, but I would like to start with this a video from Steve Harvey, just talking about faith. I think again, Steve Harvey's very godlike, and as you guys, as I talk more about this, you'll know I don't believe in just believing in the fairy tales of it all, but we need something. And that is where I am at in life, that we need something to believe in, something above ourselves when we don't have that to believe in. But take a look at this, and then we'll come back.
I had those moments, man, where I had to really make some tough decisions because I was tired of being homeless, man. I was tired of gigs coming every now and then, living in a car. Thought about calling my old man, asking him, could I come back to Cleveland and live there until I got a job. But it's a funny thing about faith, man. Faith is a belief in things that you cannot see. And sometimes when you can't see no way, that's when you really got to have faith, because that's what it is. If you could see it, you wouldn't have to have faith. If you knew you were going to be rich in 4 years, you would act totally different, because you know in 4 years I'm going to be rich. So all you got to do, then you wouldn't need faith. All you need is patience. But God don't reveal to you when he going to give it to you, because that would destroy the relationship of faith. He just requires that you have the faith. Now, he going to give it to you. If you write it down, he going to give it to you. Everything that's in your imagination is God showing you a preview of a coming attraction he has for you. That's what your imagination is. So once you write it down and you adhere to that, the law of attraction is at work. That's how it works, man. It's not a magic trick. It ain't your education. Now, if you want to be a doctor or lawyer, you got to get education. But it ain't got nothing to do with your education. Nothing. You could be very successful without education. Mark Zuckerberg and Bill Gates don't have a degree between them. But they got more degrees working for them than a thermometer. Everybody I hire has a degree. Everybody I hire. Because I ain't got one. So I hire people that's smarter than me, count better than me, know better than me. You got a degree, that's what you want to do? Cool, I got a job for you. But your visions don't require education. Not at all. It's your faith, man. It ain't nothing bigger than your faith. Nothing is bigger than your faith and your dream. It ain't your education. The Bible never mentions education. It is your dream. The Bible says a man without a dream or vision shall perish. Say nothing about your education. Now, you can get education, but it ain't necessary. Unless you want to be something that requires, you're an engineer, you got to get a degree. You want to fly a plane, you got to go get a degree. You want to be a doctor, you got to go get a degree. I'm not saying you don't need a degree, but if you ain't in them fields right there and if you're not a college person, what you going to do? You can't win? Because I just ain't a college person, so I can't win? Come on, you got to be kidding. LeBron ain't got no degree, but he had a different skill set. I don't have a degree. Dave Chappelle ain't got no damn degree. Like if you talk to me, I don't know a lot of stuff, but I got good ass sense. I know how to figure stuff out. You just need a dream and a vision and some faith. And somehow, like she said, you be a Christian, you got to have some faith, but you got to be able to work though. Faith without works is dead. Once you lock that in, you can win. Everything else is on you and God.
And faith. So I left some definitions of faith on the post, and I want to get into those. Now, confidence or trust in a person or thing. Belief that is not based on proof. And the belief in anything as a code of ethics, standards of merit. Faith. We have to have faith in the continuum of things, the reason for things, the reason why things are. That's the only way we can learn the lessons we learn in the hardest times. So my son, my 5-year-old, when we were going there, and he could tell I was getting a little emotional. He had said to me, the first thing he said, so my aunt had just passed away a couple weeks ago. And he looks at me dead serious and he says, "What's okay, Dad? Bella will be with Aunt Dorothy now." And I was like, whoa, you're so right. But it never even hit me to think of that. But because he has faith that there is something more, because we are trying to instill him that this life is just to learn everything that we can and be the best person, human being individual that we can by doing the right thing, choosing the right, and just believing that by doing that, we're following in the footsteps to get to something better, something bigger, heaven, whatever you want to call it. He believes that. He believes that to his core. He said something, and I can't believe that he remembers that I said this to him. But I told him, I said, when my aunt passed away, that was his first face of death. First being involved in anybody passing away or going to a funeral or anything. And Maggie was very scared of how is he going to take this? And so I tried to break it down the best way I could, but I'm very honest. I like to be almost blunt with it. I mean, Maggie hates that I said you could either be burned or you'd be buried. And she's like, why don't you say cremated? Because that cremation sounds like something people don't understand. You're being burned. I think I lost Jeff there. Hey, did I lose you?
Yeah, I'm here.
Sorry about that, man. But
No.
but anyway, so the faith. He said something to me yesterday that, and to my wife. It was mostly when he said it to Maggie. What really shook me was he said, "Mom, it's okay. When we die, we're gonna wake up. We'll be kids again, and we'll see Bella, and you'll be a kid too, Mama. We'll all be kids playing, and it's gonna be there's fun and toys, and it's just amazing." Whew. And when he said that, it stopped me.
Innocence.
Yes, yeah, I'm so glad you said that because that's what I said. I said it's innocence because Maggie's like, wow. And I'm like, it's innocence. He doesn't. The world, the environment, the people, the everybody around us hasn't beat him down enough to lose faith that there is more, that there is a reason for all of this. And it's funny, not funny. I shouldn't say that. It was in that moment when he said it. I think a lot of us today would think, and there are people around me that do think that when this game's over, when this life is over, which I call life a game. I mean, we're here to learn how to be the best version of ourselves that we could possibly be. And if you're not spending every day on this planet that we call Earth, trying to just do the best that you can possibly do. I mean, Dan says it all the time: do more, be more, achieve more. If we're not doing that here, why are we here? What are we doing? What is the reason? If there is this belief that there is something more that we go on to when this time is done, what are we doing? Why do anything the right way? Why not just get everything you can, like a lot of the other people who may not see that there is that further vision? Why worry about doing the right thing? We have to have faith that there is more. And he taught me a lesson that I taught him, that I didn't realize how much it stuck with him. I didn't realize how much it stuck with me. But guys, you gotta have faith. You have to have faith in the people around you. You have to have faith in your team. You have to have faith in yourself. Believe in yourself. And when you can't believe in yourself, find something higher to believe in that makes you choose to do the right. It doesn't have to be God. It could be your God. It could be anything. Just make sure that it makes you choose to do the right thing always, in hopes that when your time does come and the game of life here is over, there is something else to go to. And you nailed it, Jeff. When you said innocence, I said that to Maggie yesterday. I said, oh my God, it's innocence. That is the inner kid that we all have in us, that I have in us, that we all have there, that we want those beliefs, those things, those dreams, those faiths, those things that we can't see, but something is telling us that they're there. You have a dream you're going after now. You have a big something you're going after that you want, that you think is impossible, that everybody else around you thinks is impossible. It's probably not impossible for you. It's coming from somewhere, whether it's your heart, whether it's God, whether it's whatever you want to believe it is. It's coming from somewhere. Listen to it. I think that's what we need the most today. We need people listening to that inside kid that still believes there's something more to this game of life than just getting all we can. Man, sorry, Jeff. Thoughts? I guess follow up anything.
I can misery with you. Unfortunately, I've gone through it several times. I've had plenty of dogs. We used to raise, breed, and show Jack Russell Terriers throughout the country. I had 18 of them in my house at one time, and a lot of them were around the same age. We put 4 dogs down in 1 month. And I've had horses. We put 4 horses down. And I'm just honest, and my integrity is first and foremost. I couldn't be there when they went down. I mean, it's really strange with me is that, and I can't answer that, but if it's a person that was in a bad accident, I mean, where people just turn away and can't go into the fire or see something they shouldn't see, I can do that. I can do that with a human. I can dive in there. I can help. I can do whatever I can. But when it comes to an animal, for some reason, I can't do it.
It's because of their innocence.
I know.
I think it's because of their innocence.
It's true. So, I got a Pomeranian now, and he's up there in age. And I promised my wife, I says, well, you know what? When it does come, I'm going to be there for him. It's about life. It is.
Yes.
We see things being born, and unfortunately, we see the love of our lives pass. And some are fortunate enough to be with them, and some not so fortunate, but they wish they were there. So that's, yeah, I have the faith and stuff like that. But man, it is so tough to go through that for any kid. I mean, my daughter at a very, very young age, DJ, she saw some stuff that was just almost like your son, where it helps them with their lives. If the takeaway is because at some point, someplace, they're going to know what life and death is all about, and they get comfortable with it. I know that's a wrong word, but they get comfortable with it. It's a shocker the first time around, but it seems like your son was in tune and had his mindset, probably because of great parenting. But as they moved on, you'll see them change. It's just that natural thing, and when they start seeing people smiling and talk about the beautiful things that either your animal did or your loved ones did, and they reflect upon it, and that negativity becomes more positivity in it, the mindset changes, and it's not really all that bad, and you accept it for what it is. And I guess that's the biggest takeaway from death. It's all about mindset and getting. We all have to be prepared for those unfortunate days when they do come. They're going to come. It's inevitable, but it's how we prepare ourselves as human beings that helps us to get through those terrible days.
Thank you for sharing that, Jeff. And you said something that I agree with. Yeah, it's the kids, the innocence that they have, and the animals. I think that was the big thing. It was very hard for Maggie. Maggie Maggie was shocked. She couldn't believe that Cooper was like, "I'll go." And honestly, again, I secretly I was being the brave one because I knew at this time I had to be that person. I've had a lot of animals. I grew up my whole life with animals, with dogs mostly. Oh, we always had one or two dogs. My mom was always the one to take them. I would be brave enough to go in the car, but I couldn't be brave enough to do beyond that. And then he was like, "I'm gonna do it. I'll do it." And we're like, "Are you serious?" And to see him in the moment, to see her last moments, to be part of that, Jeff, I will tell you, it is, it really does change you. It really is something different because to be there, and especially seeing him, he was right there in her face, just rubbing her head and kissing her, and she was just looking at him, and whew, uh,
At that time, man, they need you more than you need them. I know it sounds a little odd on that, but that's all they have in this world. That's all
yeah,
they have.
yes,
It's like how I told my daughter. I said, we're their pack leader. And that's why they become family, because it is family. You know, I don't care what kind of animal you had. From my oh, it was so funny. My daughter and our neighbors used to say, you should put a placard outside your house that says farm open or zoo open, because we had everything from gerbils to chinchillas to rabbits to
that was my
cats,
house as a kid.
massive dogs to horses. It also, animals teaches kids responsibility.
Yes,
It keeps them away from nasty things, bad habits, drugs, all this kind of stuff. And it's so good to have animals, and it helps you in your life about the responsibilities and the respect for the animals and how they give the respect to you. It's
yeah,
amazing, what an animal can do for you as a person, and even in your
mm,
business and stuff, and how you treat people. Um,
yes,
it's the best thing, and I suggest anybody out there, well, you young folks out there that are having children, man, get an animal. You'll be surprised what things change. It's like, I read this one thing, and I saw this about a highly autistic individual that couldn't be touched or anything in that matter, couldn't be spoken to. So it's suggested to get a dog, and they got a puppy, and they brought the puppy in, and it changed the individual who was autistic, that was sensitive to touch. The dog was curling up to him. It's just amazing what animals do for human beings and how they change their mindsets. It's like you have a bad day at work, right? You come through the door, the first thing that greets you is your dog, right? I mean, wagging,
yes,
happy and everything. So you could have the shittiest day, and you walk in there and your mindset
yes,
is changed just like that. And it's like you just forgot all the happy things that happen. There's a reason for that.
yeah.
I believe that there's a true reason for it. So
Yes, I agree. I agree completely, Jeff. Uh, Antoine, thank you for this. That's good parenting, not to
yes,
shield
I
him, but
agree with. I absolutely agree
raise him
with
strong that
that.
his faith doesn't weaken. Thank you, Antoine. And
Yeah,
again,
shelter them. Don't.
I will tell you, Jeff, you nailed something that I've been trying to think, because the one thing I've tried to teach Cooper and raise Cooper and my kids is the hardest times are usually when we can find our greatest lessons. And so I
Yes.
was yesterday trying to figure out, like, what are the lessons in all of this, especially these past couple of weeks. Holy cow! Um, but what is the lessons I got from even Bella? And I will tell you, so she was a little teacup Yorkie, but she had little dog syndrome just like they all do. But the odd thing, and we talked about this, um, was there's a few things she really taught me. First, I think all dogs, all animals, and that's why they have that innocence, is unconditional love. You can see a dog that's been beaten like crazy from somebody, and they will still love that person. Like no other, and it does not make any sense to any human being possible, but to that dog, that's all they know. That's
Yep.
all they know. And you said it when you said that's all that they have is us. When you, like you were saying to your daughter, yeah, that's all they have. So they have this unconditional love, and if we can just find that ourselves in those around us that we need, the power that can bring. The other thing she did, and she, again, the little dog syndrome, but she to have her almost 13 years is crazy, because about 12 years ago, which was she was only maybe 6 months old. We had her over my parents' house for a Browns game. I think it was around this time, actually. Maybe a little bit, I don't know, later in the season. I can't remember, but we were there. She went away. She was still a very tiny puppy. She was maybe 2 pounds, if that. And my niece and nephew were away. The next thing I know, an accident happened. We don't know what happened, but she was frozen. She was kind of bent in half. I've never seen a dog. I thought she was dead. Blood coming out of her mouth, stuff coming out of everywhere. We're like, okay, what happened? Oh no. Rush her to the animal hospital. They're like, they basically give us the ultimatum of, hey, are you going to do this? And it was, well, we could try this, but we don't know if it's going to work. Do you want to do this, or do you want to do this? And we're like, oh my gosh, like, we just got her. Now you want, how much, what is this? And so the doctor, we were there for hours. And another doctor comes and says, look, she seems like she's kind of coming around. Like, we'll give her fluids. We'll do this. Let's just see how she is tomorrow. The next day, we were surprised to get a call saying, oh, she's walking around. Come pick her up. And to now know everything she's been through, and then 13 years to get, almost 13 years beyond that, she learned very quickly her ICP. She knew her comfortability of who can pick her up, or who can come near her, or who can touch her or not touch her. And she would let you know. There was only a handful of people that were allowed to touch her, period. Otherwise, she would freak out to scare anybody. She never bit anybody. I don't think she could bite anybody. But the scare was enough. And she would do this freak out that would scare anybody who tried to pick her up. The only people who would pick her up, me and Maggie, my parents, her parents, my oldest son, Kobe, and Cooper. And literally just in the last year, she had grown this bond with Cooper that Coop could pick her up and do whatever he wanted with her. And it's like I told Maggie, animals are in a different vibration. They know things and can sense things, like cats. Cats are looking around because they see things we don't see. I believe that. I believe there are things we don't see. We just have to believe they're there. I believe there is somewhere else for us to go to. Otherwise, I'm just going to continue to do this, hoping there is, because worse, maybe there isn't, but what if there is? That's what I always say. What if there is? Well, then I want to see it. So that's with Cooper, with everybody out there, guys. Just love. Choose love.
Really?
Choose faith. Choose life. Live in the moment. We talk about a lot, the woo. You got to take advantage of your window of opportunity, your moment on here. What is the next moment this week? What is the moment today that you can maybe be this light, this change, this unconditional love that can break somebody else through the barrier that they don't see themselves, that they're creating themselves that they don't see.
Right.
Man. I know motivation. I didn't bring the energy today, guys. There's no motivation.
Understandably,
as far as
man.
energy,
You don't have to apologize.
what?
It's good for everybody out there too. And I'm not trying to speak for everyone out there, but I'm just going to take an educated guess that most of us have gone through this, and we totally understand what you're going through, and it's the toughest part of life, right? The easy part is life. Toughest part is death, right? Because You know, it's something you don't want to accept, but you have to accept. So the faster that you accept it and move on with your life, and I believe firmly that the departed wouldn't want you to mourn and feel sad for the rest of your life. They would want you to carry on and do what you've always done, because, you know, whether your mom, your dogs, whatever, you know, they would be upset if you were always upset. You know, so it's like,
Yes.
yeah, so it's like, you
Thank you
know,
for saying that, Jeff, because yes, you know,
yeah,
that's
that's what you have to do, my friend. You know,
You have to.
seriously,
celebrate the
don't
life
dwell
and
on
the
the
time that you
moment.
got with them.
Don't dwell on the moment. It's nothing but negativity, and it brings you down. It does not put you in the right position. You know, just think of the happy moments. You know, like I said, your parents, your animals, friends. You know, it's the best place to put yourself in, and it's the best position to be in. You know, yep. Never forget, but carry on with your life, man. You know, the
Yes.
best that you possibly can.
I think, and that's even goes beyond death, guys. I know I talked, and again, don't want to make this just about death and sadness. But the lesson is, and Jeff, you know that whatever hard things happen, whatever hard things are happening, whatever hard things you're going through, you'll get through it.
You will.
As long as you wake up the next day, you still got an opportunity to make things better. And all
And
you can do.
the last thing, it's also about, and we spoke about it many times, your inner circle that you create. Because if you hang with like-minded people, they're going to understand what you're going through. They're going to be there to support you. They're going to be there for you to lean on their shoulders, you know, to hold your hand, to get you through that, you know, that problematic part of your life. You know, it's not just on the personal side, it's on the business side. So don't be afraid, my friends out there, you know, to lean on other people who kind of have the same ideas as you, and the beliefs, and we all want to succeed, both personally and business side. So, you know, that's my takeaway on this, my advice.
Yes. I agree. Yes, you're so right, Jeff. Know your core. Know your core.
Absolutely.
Build your core. Know your core, and have faith in your core. Even if you can't find the faith in God yourself, have the faith in those around you that you keep around you. You need to.
Absolutely. Yep.
Thank you, Jeff. Thank you, everybody, again. Thank you. Go out there and just make this week. Just be the faith, be the strength, be the support in those that you have around you or that are keeping you around, and have you in their inner circle. Be their strength this week. Be their faith. Help them to move the mountains they think they can't move.
Help them to help themselves.
Yes, exactly. Thank you, everybody. As always, thank you for the comments. Thank you for joining us daily here live. Sales Chatter, Monday through Friday, 9 a.m. to 9:30 Eastern Standard Time. Start your day right with us. Again, faith going to take us out, keeping with the theme, faith. So this is from Luke 1:37. Faith does not make things easy; it makes them possible. Have faith, and you will make all things in your life possible. I promise.
Centurion Trucking, our motto is people before profit. Today's market requires more transparency, consistency, and focus on what our clients need to win. Centurion Trucking and American Logistics are poised to help their clients achieve and surpass their targets. If you're looking for a team that honors your needs, dreams, and aspirations, then get a hold of Daman at American Logistics or Centurion Trucking and start designing your career today.